Good morning, everyone. I wanted to go ahead and just go through the slides that I created for this class today. It's called Creating a PR Machine. We're going to do this utilizing video, Facebook, and what is considered the 3x3 grid method. So this is something that's great for any sort of business owner. My name's Angelica Pequeno. I'm the owner of Just Add Me Marketing, and I have been helping business owners with their marketing strategies for more than 5 years. I've been in advertising for 10 years, and I am happy to share what I've learned as I have been involved in a mentorship under a man by the name of Dennis Yu. Dennis Yu speaks at Facebook. He used to work for Yahoo. He used to do the marketing for the Golden State Warriors basketball team in Northern California, and is super knowledgeable on some pretty advanced techniques, but he's able to simplify things and really use the concepts of what it can be considered inception and behavioral predictions. If you guys are familiar with the movie Social Dilemma, you will see how you can use behavioral predictions in your marketing by use of data and analyzing information you've received and use it in your retargeting marketing efforts going forward. So here's me. I'm in a class with Dennis Yu every week. And one thing he has said, when people believe in a mission, then they'll buy whatever it is that you have to sell. So people really care more about stories, your story in particular, what your mission is. And I know this is a familiar phrase, I'm sure you have heard this before, once people like you and trust you, they're more likely to buy from you. So this is kind of the same concept and goes along the same guidelines. You just really have to be able to portray your message and your story. And eventually people are going to feel as if they know you and trust you and more likely to become a client. So personal branding, what is the dollar a day strategy? Dollar a day strategy, it generates inbound interest. It multiplies your power, and you can kind of, once it's set up, set it and forget it, and it'll just be an ongoing machine, gathering views, building on itself, and really amplifying your persona into the audience that you are trying to penetrate. It's best used on a public figure page or your business page. So you don't want to use any of these strategies on your personal Facebook account. It would be more for your public figure page. So here I have a little infographic, and it kind of gives you an overview of how you can set up a 3x3 video grid funnel. And at the top is where someone has never heard of you before, but they are just starting to be aware of the person that you are. Through your video, they have come across. So first step is awareness. After you've had a few videos cycling through a pretty generic, broad audience, you can start seeing who's receptive to this video and begin to narrow down your audience, and then overlap additional content to them and keep it ongoing. So through that, you eventually want to convert them to a customer. So one tip is you want to keep your video short. If your video gets up to 6-second view, that's considered a win. 9 seconds even better, but typical attention span on a video, if somebody's going to click off, is 3 seconds. So you want to keep it as short as possible just to get the maximum viewing percentage. Just Add Me actually has what we do when we are setting up a 3x3 for one of our customers is we do what's called digital plumbing. We will build your audiences, track the results, use these reliable analytics, and determine where you need to do your ad spend. So there are some things that I suggest you need to have a successful or a more successful, more effective ad campaign. And for one, you have to define your target audience. You have to know who your customer is. You need to set up your Facebook ads account. You need to install a Facebook pixel so you will be tracking who's coming across your ad so you can reuse that information later. And you can do the same with Google Ads if you choose, and that will only double up your effort. So it's highly recommended that you also have a Google Ads running at the same time and install the analytics on Google Ads Analytics as well. And there is something pretty handy that you can do if you are a blogger or you write a lot of content, which is very recommended for your website to continually add your content relative to your industry, provide value in the form of an article, because you'll be rewarded. And this is going into the SEO part of things, which is what this presentation doesn't cover today. But for SEO, organic SEO, if you continue to provide relevant information on your website targeted to what your industry is, meaning not having random articles, they have to be articles that are relevant to your industry, then you can be eligible for what's called Facebook Instant Articles. So ask me more about that later. I'll explain that to you later. But if you do write original content and post on your website, you may want to look into Facebook Instant Articles. So building content. How do you build content? Well, if you've had a good client experience, you may have some testimonials. If you have industry partners, you can do a short video with them and do an interview style where you will capitalize on their audience and you guys can share your audience. And there's another way you can buy something that would boost your social score, and that would bring awareness by use of an influencer. And there's a website called Cameo. Cameo is where you can, look at people that have a social media presence, have a good following, and you can hire them for as little as free all the way up to $100 and more. And you can hire them and actually ask them to give you a positive review on your business. So, or you can just have them say that they know you and they like you, and it gives you authority. It gives you authority because you have somebody else of authority speaking great things about you. And the more outside third-party testimonials you have, the better, because otherwise you just sound like you're bragging about yourself if you're the one constantly telling people how great you are. So Cameo is kind of a shortcut. You can get that instant authority boost and purchase that for as little as $5. So I would check out cameo.com. You'd be amazed if you get the right person, how much attention you'll get through this. And when you're creating this content, you want to keep track of it. You can create a Google Sheet and copy and paste all the links to the posts that are gathering most attention. That way you can reuse it later and you have it all on one sheet and you can always refer to it and just pull it out if needed whenever you're lacking content. When you're boosting this content, you want to micro target, you want to really be detailed about the client that you want in Facebook as far as your custom audience. And the components of authority is people, content, and properties. Properties is like the ad itself. When you are gaining awareness through this funnel, and it really is a funnel because you're starting broad and you are starting to qualify people that will most likely do business for you. And these are just the stages. And I also have this 3x3 grid that would help you with creating the content. You could use just like static content, which is a photograph, but video is going to be where you're going to get your most interaction, engagement, and people are going to feel like they know you if they see you speaking on video. So this grid you really want to shoot videos for. You can keep them under a minute and you can knock them out. You don't need fancy equipment. You can use your cell phone and create content that way, create your videos that way. And actually people relate more to cell phone videos because it doesn't seem so staged. Here are some examples of subjects you can go through these stages. You can talk about a childhood memory, how you got your first job or your first client, just a video of thanks. And your topic will is people that speak on subjects that are go along with your industry. So for example, for me, my topic will, my industry is marketing. So my topic will, I could have like someone that specializes in SEO. Um, there is someone that specializes in website design. And those are the people that you can use their audience to target when you're running or boosting your videos as well. You can, even if these people are like really famous, you can still see who their audience is and use it on your own Facebook ads. So here's just some topics that you can use for your videos. And this is like a small script for one of your first videos. You know, when I was 5, I tripped and I figured out that I didn't want laces on my shoes. And that's what helped me figure out how to become a shoemaker and design these brand new shoes. And so that will help people figure out where you started from, where you came from. And it gives a little bit of the backstory of why you do what you do. And if you're looking for small scripts to help you with your videos, here's an example of one. And it just gives your audience more of a story of the service that you give or the product that you're selling. Rather than starting with the product, you really are trying to build trust, and you do that through being more personable. And it's best to do it through video, so people will start seeing you, getting familiar with you, and inevitably they're going to feel like they know you. So this is an example of a story that you could kind of put together. Let's say if you were, a real estate agent. Obviously there's nothing but real estate agents in this group. When I was 10, I drove by this house and I couldn't afford it. And I just thought, wow, what could I do to be in that house? And I met this guy and he helped me. And I was so grateful when he helped me that it inspired me that I want to give that feeling back to more people. So that's kind of like a long story, but it's I hope you guys understand like the whole concept, basically telling more of the backstory on why you're doing what you're doing. So that's a good intro video that you can start with. And I've actually been in the process of doing this 3x3 grid. I've only done 2 videos in this whole 9 sequence, but I wanted to show kind of some of the results that I am getting. And so my first video was my why. If you can see it here at the bottom. So this essentially was my why video, like why I love helping real estate agents. This was the first video that I shot, recorded, and started boosting. It got about 9 seconds into the watch time, and my cost per play was 7 cents. Total video plays was 970, and it got about 30%, about a third of that, or 25% people will actually watch it the entire way through. And then what I did on the second video is I used the audience from this video and retargeted the audience that it was building. And this was my second video that it went out to them. You know, I was just showing the analytics of the video that I started running. And this was my first video, which the goal of the video was just to get plays. It wasn't to get links or clicks or visit your website, because this first audience is going to be so broad. It's going to be people that don't know you. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to broaden your audience for people that will never have heard of you before. So you just want them to watch the video. You know, you're not worried about capturing their email or anything like that. The second video, you can start asking for things. You can say, so this was my goal. You're down here, the optimization goal was through plays. The second goal was link clicks. So this first one did way better than the second one. This is going to be harder. This is going to be harder to get people to click on you. But this first video is building awareness. So you're going to continue with that strategy and start overlapping and building up the audience that you have, and also start funneling people out that aren't going to want to do business with you. You want to start weeding them out. So this is the link clicks got a little bit higher, you know, as far as cost to get results, but it's okay because we're still going to go through the 3x3 grid and start building up that custom list. The way you can tell if a video was hot is if half of the audience watched it through the entire way. Mine only got 30%, but I'm not, you know, crying or anything. It's like fine. But if you got 3 to 10 second views, mine actually did get 9 second views. That is when you know, because if you've made it past the 3 second mark, that's where most people fall off. If they are not interested in the video within the first 3 seconds, they click out, they swipe up or whatever. And your 10-second video, your audience that has watched it, you want it to be organic. But once you're paying for views and stuff, the ratio could be 50-50. But if you're not paying and somebody just sees it because they're a byproduct of someone that has watched the video and you didn't necessarily target them, that's still good as well, because you're still building up an audience. And then if you're getting a lot of shares on the video, that is really when you know that your video is hot. And an easy way to start is to kind of go through on your public page. And I said this in the beginning, this is not for your personal account. This is for a business page. This is for a public figure page. But you want to go there. So for Vanessa, she'd be going to VB Realty. If you're a solo independent real estate agent, you'd want to use your public page. If you're a group, you want to use your company page. And you want to go through, find one of your posts that you got a lot of comments on, that you saw, you got a lot of engagement. And an easy way is to start with that post and boost it. It's already has gotten organic attention. So if you want to put fuel under that fire, you can go back and just put a little boost onto that one. That's a good place to start. But if you've never built an ad before, Facebook has this really cool tool, and you just go here, business, Facebook ads builder, and I can chat it. I think I can chat it. But this will help you create a mock-up of your ad, which I find very useful because you can see how the ad's going to look, and it'll even show you, it'll resize it for you for Instagram. So if we did something really quick, you know, it'll show you what the ad's going to look like, which I think is like really, really helpful because you don't have to go straight to your ads account manager and build it there. This one allows you to do mock-ups. And then once you're ready, and I don't know why it's not showing. Once you're ready and you're happy with the video, you can go ahead and push it over to your ads manager. Oh, I guess I have to select a page. Okay, let's do this one. And so it'll show you how it's going to look in all the different places. That's super handy. So, and I love it because you just, for me, I feel less pressure to like get it perfect. Because when you're an ads manager, like that's where you're spending money. But here, you can feel free to make mistakes, experiment. And then when you're happy, you push it to your ad managers right here. And then when you go to your Facebook Business Ads Manager, you'll see this ready to go. And all you have to do from there is start selecting your audience and putting all of the like little details as far as who you're trying to target and your budget and things like that. But this is really great for creative. So that's like one of my tips. Also, what I mentioned in the beginning is a good way to build content is through people that have made testimonials for you. You want to boost those. Or if you had anyone write anything about you, you can use this Chrome extension called CrowdTangle. And so that will help you kind of gather third-party kind of endorsements. It always looks better when someone else is saying great things about you rather than you just boasting, or it's just more believable. Other people are talking about you. So basically this dollar a day strategy, that's all you would have to put behind these videos while they're running. You just want to determine the audiences you want to influence, find high authority mentions you would like to amplify. So that's finding a post that was written about you. You can put a dollar a day, boost that, and start building your authority. You want to kind of capitalize on engagement, continue speaking with people, and just continue to cycle through this content, and it will build on itself over time. So let's see, is that it? Yeah, so I have a couple packages where I actually can do an audit on your entire online presence, and we can go through, and sometimes you have like an old website that's out there that you didn't realize was like on some like Yelp index or something. My digital audit will actually catch these errors and fix them for you. And we can also talk about your goals and your targeting strategy. But then I have a manual I can provide everyone on basically doing exactly what I went over today, doing it yourself. And then I also provide the service and do it for you. Go ahead and contact me. There's my information. You can text me any marketing questions, and there is my email address. So if you saw through this presentation, I have a bunch of third-party pictures, you know, people that I've met, and you know, you just want to build your authority that way by using other authoritative figures, you know, boosting things like that.
What do you recommend someone like me that wants to start to do videos but is really shy? Like, I don't know, I can't get over the fact like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in a video. What if I look dumb, or what if like I say something wrong? And I don't know,
Well,
like
your first set of videos, they say, are gonna suck. And you want to power through them. And they just say, just get through them. Just continue to do it and you will get better. If you really hate being on camera, I actually have spokespeople on my website. If you go to justadd.me, in my products page, you will see you can hire spokespeople to shoot a video for you. But other than that, you know, don't put too much pressure on yourself. The best videos are the ones that are done organically and relate, because they just make you very relatable, as opposed to a super high production value video where they can tell you have lights and cameras and green screen and all of that. Just a simple cell phone is enough for you to shoot a video, and like makes you seem more relatable anyways. The best advice is just keep practicing. I do have some scripts that I can share. And one of the scripts is, I help X do Y and solves this problem. So I help real estate agents do their marketing and it gets them more leads. So that's somewhat of a script that you could use. And also going back to the 3x3 grid in the beginning is going to your mission statement, really, and telling the story of why you got into doing what you're doing, and really building up the story behind your product and not focusing on the product. Focus on who you are, you know, why you're different, but say it in a way where you're starting to build up emotion. People start feeling like they know you. You know, I've heard that from so many marketing people, that your first ones are don't put so much pressure on yourself, because it's okay if they're bad. It's okay. You can shoot another one the next day. And as long as each time you do it, you're going to get better. And the really great thing about that $1 strategy, that video that I shot, that first video, it's still running, and it's just continuing to run every day. And it's continuing to gather other people that haven't heard of me. I've had people reach out to me just because of that video, the first video. I've gotten clients, people like, hey, I saw your video. I need help with advertising. I need help with marketing. So, and I don't even think about that video anymore, but it's just because I have that $1 behind it every day, it's continuing to work for me. And then once you get your second video out, you start retargeting to the first audience that actually watched the video. So you start narrowing down your audience, and it starts funneling down to the people that are actually going to want to work with you.